Good morning, everyone. This is our proposal presentation for the City of Irwindale. My name is Sherry.
I'm Charles.
I'm Cameron.
And for the next slide. So here is some background information for the City of Irwindale. The city was incorporated in 1957. Is known for its rock quarries, 800 businesses, 200,000 total employment, and 1,400 residents. Their top businesses include their top businesses are in manufacturing and in wholesale, and most notably, the company that makes sriracha, Hoi Fung, is also in Irwindale. Our sponsoring client, Iris Espino, the Economic Developer Coordinator of the city, wants us PRAD, Practical Advantage Communications, to create a positive social media awareness and promote city services. So I'll go over our goals. Our goals for this campaign is 1, to create a strong and effective social media campaign that emphasizes continuity and branding across all platforms. 2, we want to develop a social media policy. And 3, we want to provide recommendations for future communications outreach in the future.
So essentially for our client, for the city of Irwindale, what we did was we essentially did a SWOT analysis. Essentially, we delved into the internal and external factor of how we can help Irwindale make their social media policy better, and as well as reach more to their audience, which is resident and businesses within Irwindale. So we look at a SWOT, and the first is a strength. So we look at Irwindale as an industrial-based city. Essentially, over 20,000 employees work there. Over 800 businesses. Besides there, you have major corporation there that includes Miller Brewing and Sriracha. In terms of residency, we look at the households in the city, which is a little over 420 households. Most of them are multi-generational. And rock quarries are actually one of the city's main sources of revenue outcome when we look at how we're going to execute how the city's going to run their social media platform. We definitely want to talk about that. Weaknesses that we were looking at. So it is small. As I said, there's only 1,400 residents living there. The average age is about 35.8 years old, and majority of the residents are actually fluent in Spanish. So we're looking at issues where maybe the posts are not resonating with them. Maybe there needs to be Spanish translation. And then final weakness is that there's identical content across all the social media platform, and sometimes maybe the residents who follow or use these platforms maybe only subscribe to one. They're not, multi-platform users. So the opportunities we see is that the city is currently doing an entire website revamp. So we can capitalize on that by making a unified brand. Maybe we can come up with some kind of logo or hashtag that can stick out, maybe even cover it for the next decade or so. City may also consider investing into a third-party social media platform that can integrate everything instead of having individual users. Most of the content currently are directed at residents, not businesses. So therefore, we want to somehow connect the local businesses with the residents. The City of Commerce only shares their information with members, and not all the members of the residents are living in the city. So maybe we need to consider reaching out to people who are outside of the city as well. And then finally, we're looking at an opportunity where we can transition towards social media and email more. Looking at focus groups and surveys. Currently, they do send out a monthly mailing list to their 400 residents, but that's probably not reaching most of them at the moment. And then the threats we identified was that a lot of the city personnel, as I said before, have access to the social media platform via the individual devices that can open them up to potential security breaches. And other cities do have a bigger, better online presences, like Chino Hills and Pasadena, probably because there's more number of residents living there. So since there's more events going on, they have the budget to do things like that. Oh.
Here are a couple of examples that we pulled from their social media sites, Facebook and Instagram in particular. They showcase some of the things that they are doing now. This Fun Fact Friday is a newer aspect that they've been launching that has shown to be popular because it's very simple and not more text-based like this. A lot of flyers and things of that nature are made for their social media, but this, like Charles said, most of them are put on all the same platforms. So it doesn't help with engagement because people will only engage with one platform.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to switch it to you real quick. I'm going to be going over goals, objectives, schedule, how this next 6 weeks is going to unfold. So I know Sherry pretty much touched on the goals that we're looking to accomplish, but the main objective we're looking to go for is to increase engagement across the city of Irwindale's social media platforms through enhanced information distribution flow. So like she said, goal number 1, create a strong, effective social media strategy. There's 2 strategies within that goal, 1 being hashtags, 2 being templates. As far as the hashtags go, we want to create a different hashtag for each department and provide examples that can be used for each of those departments. Hashtags will be creative, they'll appeal to the demographic, they'll appeal to the current events that are going on, and they'll reach on a much broader scale. Strategy 2, templates. We want to create social media posts that respond to a certain crisis. Basic post templates to lessen the potential risk of possible mistakes. In addition, example comments will be provided for posts geotagged in Irwindale. Goal number 2, develop the social media policy. Strategies within that development process are going to be a social media tracking system, tracking the usage, on which platform, who uses it, what time. So for example, Facebook being informational, the alerts and announcements being on Twitter, and the photos being on Instagram. So we're going to create that social media tracking system to track the usage, and we're going to make new login information accessible on multiple accounts. Goal number 3, provide recommendations for other communication outreach in the future. What that entails, strategy number 1, create simple posts that illustrate to the city how they can incorporate Spanish language posts and hashtags into their posting schedule. Strategy number 2, explore the integration of Google Analytics for Irwindale's varying platforms. And then I'm going to go over the timeline if you guys want to switch that. So this is going to be over the next 6 to 7 weeks, basically a layout of what everything looks like. For the week of September 30th, we're going to be working with establishing hashtags, brainstorming for additional hashtags for the existing departments, as well as the social media platforms. We're going to seek the client approval on those hashtags. And then the week of October 7th, we're going to be working on the social media policy, establishing areas of concern and implementing solutions for existing social media platforms. For the week of October 14th, we plan on constructing templates to be used across all these different social media platforms, individual templates for specific departments that make up the city of Irwindale. The week of October 21st, we want to research integration technology for social media platforms that are currently being used by the city of Irwindale. We want to establish the positive and negative benefits of that. The challenges that we might face are the client might decide against this kind of integration of technology. For the week of October 28th, we want to research on existing posts from the city, and we want to have that be related to different crisis situations. We want to start the construction crisis templates for social media platforms. Starting on November 4th, that week, we want to kind of look at the progress report, see where we're at, analyze everything, and then go from there and start working towards the final presentation. And then I'm going to pass it on to Charles. Well, we can just Yeah, present it without it.
It's just the.
That's true. All right, so essentially our evaluation success for this campaign is this. So we already talked about, we define all the goal, what we want to do, Cameron touched on essentially creating hashtags and templates. But in the end, we have to ensure that Irwindale essentially they're able to achieve increased transparency and communication between the residents and businesses. Our expectation is that for Irwindale to have a general increase in both effective communication on all their social media, and that's between the city, the businesses, and the residents. So this also means that during the course of our campaign, our social media success will be measured through an increase in traffic and followings on all of their platforms. So at the end of this campaign, what we should be seeing, besides all the templates and hashtags that we post, is that we are drawing more people into all the social media, residents, businesses, and non-residents alike. Any questions?